Yo, this is gonna be Danganronpa Astigmatic run, which is the stupid term I've coined for playing a game where you're not playing it blind because you know the spoilers, but you haven't actually played it, so you don't know all the details. Also, I'm starting from halfway through the Class 2 trial, because the second class trial, because I didn't record it before, and I suddenly decided I wanted to. Jarati's in the chat. He's not talking right now because he's at school. For some of these, if it's at weekends, I imagine he'll talk. Ben might show up later and talk too. Occasionally other people might join too, because this is just kind of in a open voice channel on my server. Anyway. I'm gonna do horrible voice acting whenever it's not being voiced. So where were we? Ah, yes. Anyway, let's all. I don't really do a voice for Makoto, but I do voices for everyone else. Okay. Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decisions.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder room, which means that the killer is a guy. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Game's chopping a little bit. Ooh. Let's see if I can do something about that. What do we got for our battery setting? Can I make it high performance? It's already at high performance, shit. Okay.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
No, what's wrong?
Me when they repeat the order back to me and tell me
someone
that
else did see the victim
it's a root
before
beer,
he was
it's large
murdered.
root beer.
What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Makoto!
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
I don't know why, but this spray of Kyoko makes me makes me laugh. So they...
Huh?
who the killer is.
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the trap jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe. Please give me more than one truth bullet. I want some difficulty here. Game! Alright, fine. Be that way.
First of all, we know where Chihiro
I'm
is.
playing on the middle
He was
difficulties
on
for
his way to
both.
go
probably.
exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Okay. She's right. What he said just now is really odd. How do you know something like that?
First of all, we know where Chihiro.
Yeah, let me go over the truth bullet quickly. So that's the count. Blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. So that's... But hang on, but this does mention the color of the thing. I thought it was going to be that people are saying, oh, I have this color, so it's different, and it would be like, well, how do you know what color? There's no real difference between Mondo and Yasuhiro's.
He was on his way to go
Let's see.
exercise.
So next we have to. Why did he choose this?
What do you mean this?
I got it! It matched the one.
Also, we have no evidence they actually did match.
The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
But Celeste's account does mention the color. Yeah, she only told Makoto, but she mentioned it in the trial, no?
I have a white tracksuit. I got it.
I'm pretty sure that is the statement I'm supposed to hit, but, like,
Not a chance.
I don't remember whether or not
What he just said.
Celeste mentioned the color of the tracksuit in this conversation. And there's no log or anything I can check, I think. Wait, is there a log? No. No, there's no log. So I guess you're just supposed to remember. I don't like
First
that.
of all,
We know what he was on. So next, why did he choose?
I mean, it's not like there's a lot of options here, but
I got it! It matched the one that.
So, the killer was wearing the
Same blue tracksuit.
No! Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said She never said anything about the
Fuck you! She says it in the account, which is the truth bullet I'm using. How are you supposed to remember whether or not she said it?
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you
She should have just not mentioned it. She should have just not mentioned it at all, even to Makoto. That would have been better.
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
It's intended to be this easy anyway. Like...
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone. Okay.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color...
There's no reason to believe that they didn't, like, take it out as they were approaching the fucking... the whatever.
It would appear you dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there was no reason, like, when Kiyotaka was like, maybe they had the same color.
Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him. The way he was acting? Nope.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
Oh, I actually did notice that earlier, but it was the other day.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a...
I actually did notice that, yeah.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're
That's not
positively
bad.
frightful.
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leaves.
My time has nearly come.
This fucking voice he does.
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
Hmm? What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook.
I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to... It's Chihiro's.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall.
You have to hit it with your dick. That's why it's only the boys' ones that are broken.
That is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
Well, it was mentioned that it had a weak point.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why.
I wish that more of these deductions were available for us to pick from like a list,
And
or
once they had
done in a non-stop
Chihiro's
debate
handbook,
or something.
They knew they had an
There's
easy
quite a
way
few
to
of these
dispose
points I've noticed where it's like, how did this happen? And then either Kyoko or Makoto are just like, oh, it's this. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, but I would have liked to have been asked that
I
question.
won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
What? They just fucking showed us. Had to be the one who wore all the clothes into the sauna. It was. No, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, fucking, he didn't. Yeah, I'm bad.
Shoot.
Ah, well, fucking whatever. That was the other day. I knew it was one of them, and I was like, was it him that did it?
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of doubt. Please give me multiple truth bullets. Okay, thank you. Broken handbook, Chihiro's handbook, and the card reader.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Okay. I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during this one, so down. If I can just prove that, then that will show that the handbook Mondo has must actually be... yeah, the broken one. We thought it was Leon's, but it's not.
If what he says is correct, you broke your own.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook, then that proves that...
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, it's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it.
Wouldn't that mean he couldn't get into his own room anymore?
After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Time for this thing, the closing argument. Alright, we got 20 minutes to put this together. So, Chihiro is stuffing the bag in the jacket in the bag. Celeste saw him. Let's have a look. We got the cord. Oh yeah, the fucking cord. Fucking Byakuya. Alright, they got this pool, I guess? Or is that... Oh no, I can't really tell what that is. That's either a carpet or the pool at the bottom. We have the handbook being destroyed. We have Bloodlust. We have the dumbbell. These sound effects remind me of like the menus in the old Harry Potter PC games, which I did streams of, by the way, and you can see on my channel. We got the posters being switched. We have Chihiro entering the boys' changing room. We have the culprit lifting the dumbbell. We have the girls' changing room, and we have somebody entering a room. Huh, okay. Oh yeah, I just do this, okay. So, there's one of Chihiro stuffing the thing away, right? Oh, there's more this way! Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah, oh yeah, that's Celeste asking about it. So, they use the handbook to get in, that's the blood on the poster. That's the poster being switched as well. This is them holding a handbook. Someone holding a handbook. The grey means it's the culprit. Okay. So yeah. Then the rooms come up. Chihiro goes to the boys' one. And enters. No, that's the culprit. That's the culprit's hand. This is not the culprit. This must be Chihiro entering. Culprit's here. They're talking. Culprit lifts up the dumbbell. I guess this is when the blood gets on the poster. Then this thing lands on the ground. Then they're rolling up the mat. They're rolling up the mat, and then there's something else happens, and then they pick up Chihiro. It could be the poster, I guess. Alright, let's say it's them lifting up the poster. No, because then they gotta put down the fucking poster too. There's like one of them. That doesn't work. Alright, let's move ahead for a bit. Fuck, I don't know. Okay, so then Byakuya finds the body and is like, lol, I'm gonna mess with it. I think this is the rope. Takes the blood, writes bloodlust. Got that much. Then, meanwhile, Mondo throws the. Okay, so I'm almost done. With this part. I guess they're entering the girls' room. I mean, really, this could go here too. Like, oh no, wait, no, because they're not going into the girls' room there. They're going into the sauna, right? I guess there's multiple red herring things here then. Interesting. Okay, so we got 3 left. We've used up half our time, so I think we're going fine. So rolling up the mat. They do something else, then they pick up Chihiro, and then they do something else after that. It's not the girls' room thing, I think. I mean, unless it is. Maybe they put the poster up here. Maybe they moved both things at the same time. Let's try it like this.
The killer is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste?
No? Did I get something wrong? Oh no, that's just a sound effect. Okay.
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
That's not it? Maybe this goes here, and then... I don't know what would go there. Dude, I have no fucking idea. I'm looking at all these on the bottom. Shit, what happens if you run out of time? I could genuinely see that happening. Is, like, do you put that there?
Here's exactly what happened. With baggage, she made her way to the... But how could the victim, who was a...
Okay, that's correct. Okay.
Simple. Because she was
The
really
fucking door was not open in that picture, so it looked like...
He was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster.
Okay. Doing well. I think I got the rest of this.
Carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
Then Byakuya decided to be an asshole for no reason.
Could have been many things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation.
Oh, my bad. I accidentally skipped the dialogue then.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter.
Nope. Alright, well, almost there. Just showing that it's the room next to the sauna, I guess.
Here's exactly what happened.
Alright.
And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Yep. Fever time and Nega time. During a bullet time battle, if you press space, Fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right mouse button, left mouse button, right mouse button, left mouse button, however you want to destroy the opponent's available assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got to access this special time, right? So we also have something called Nega time that your opponent can use. If your opponent activates Nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate Fever time at this point, no, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent will use Nega time. So I can't tell if they're implying that it would cancel it out, or if they're saying like it wouldn't work and you'd be penalized or something. Well then, good luck and have fun. Let's see. Been a few days since I've done this.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence.
Forgot to play it for a second.
False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. You're corrupt.
Wow, this show like works.
I refute you. False. You're corrupt.
Wow, this like works. The fuck? Nobody believes me. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Oh, we've already come to the end of the debate. Well then, class trial is officially adjourned. It's time to... Really? You just get a game over? Don't tell me I have to reload my fucking save. Here's the one with the most votes is Makoto. Really? That's it? Congratulations. Literally unplayable.
Is this really the end for all of us?
What do you say? Want to give it another shot? I mean, yes.
I refuse to give up yet.
Can I save her? Yes. I'm gonna do that. Oh, never mind. No, I can't. I can't give up now. New element has been added. Not at all. I already understand it. Except, yeah, the rhythm has stopped being actually rhythmic, especially in the slow sections.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. You're corrupt.
Okay.
Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Okay, I don't really like that minigame, but there we go.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now.
Yeah.
Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
And that's that. Okay. Oh boy, medals.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What?
Uh-oh. This time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Owada! In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way you would kill someone. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf. The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. Really? Nice. I was wondering what the fucking pseudo cue. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secret, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, and the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't really want to talk about it right now. But I also don't want to leave things the way they are. So maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
it was me. Yep, it sure was! The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me... Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he... I think this text is mislabeled here. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep his secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because, no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. Is that Ben? Hi, Ben. You there? Can you hear me? I can't hear you if you're talking.
Top nerds.
Hey, so, here's what you missed. We were trying to determine What was it?
Wait,
What was
I
it? What
can't
was
hear
it?
you. 1 second.
Wow.
Yes.
Yep. I mean I can hear you, but can you hear me? Seems like you can't.
Alright, so I couldn't hear you because I had my computer muted.
Oh. And then I realized my computer was muted.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so here's what happened. I think at the start of this was basically we're like, right, now we know about Chihiro. Well, where does that leave us? And
Yeah.
Kyoko was I think this is the point where Kyoko was like, if we it was maybe somebody saw the killer at some point. And then they were like, well, they would have said so if they did. So then it was like, did anybody see the victim? And then we're like, yes, Celeste saw the victim. Chihiro's stuffing a jacket into a duffel bag before heading out of the warehouse. And so Kyoko was like, I think there's something special about that tracksuit that will tell us who the killer is. And I already know who the killer is, but she didn't tell us. And basically, then we were discussing it. Kiyotaka was like, maybe Chihiro was wearing the same tracksuit as the killer, and Mondo was like, well, if that's the case, then like you can count me out because mine is black and Chihiro's is blue, and Yasuhiro's is like, yeah, mine's white, and then you had to point out that Mondo like said that Chihiro's was blue even though no one else saw them. And they were like, well, maybe someone saw Chihiro on the way, and then you had to say no because Celeste mentioned that Chihiro stuffed the jacket in their bag completely, so you couldn't see it. And then Kiyotaka got upset because he's bros with Mondo, and he's like, I don't believe this. And then and basically it turns out Kyoko didn't actually know like for sure who it was, and didn't think there was anything special about the track jacket. She was just trying to prompt the killer into doing a slip of the tongue. And the reason she was suspicious of him is, I think I pointed this out when I was playing the other day, but Mondo what was it? Mondo calls girls chicks and calls boys dudes, and he used dude at some point to refer to Chihiro, like offhandedly. Meaning that Mondo had known something that everyone else didn't. So then at some point it was also discussed like what happened with the handbooks. It turns out that when Mondo was in the sauna, because he was wearing all his clothes, his handbook got broken because the handbook's weakness is extreme temperatures. So then he had to take Leon's, which is why there was a broken handbook in the hall, and Leon's and Mondo's were like, basically Leon's wasn't there because Mondo had taken it and he had put his own broken one there, and that's why Chihiro's was missing too, is because he put Chihiro's in the sauna to destroy it. Anyway, eventually we had a bullet time battle thing with Kiyotaka because he didn't want to believe that Mondo had done it, and yeah, Mondo eventually admitted it. So we know that it's the case now, and Monokuma is basically explaining the motives. Chihiro was always bullied for being weak despite being a boy, so they basically like retreated into a different identity so that like they would still be weak, but if they pretended to be a girl, then people wouldn't like make fun of them for it because it's like more common for girls to be weak. But once the killing game started and the motives were released here about the embarrassing memories, that actually motivated Chihiro to want to get stronger even more, and they were eventually just going to tell everyone. Mondo, and the reason they went to Mondo to get strong is because Mondo like had made a big deal out of how he always keeps his promises between men and whatnot, and Chihiro thought that he would be able to keep his promise and stuff, and he actually did because he moved Chihiro to the girls' locker room and destroyed the handbook to keep the secret even after Chihiro had died. And then everyone was like, but why did you kill Chihiro? And Mondo said that they didn't want anybody to find out something about themselves, and Monokuma's about to explain that now. So, the
Okay.
possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
No, it's Kyoko.
Oh, the possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed. That's impossible! Nothing could have been that bad! Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone? It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know. You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother! Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy, but when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over from the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why... I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win. I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong! And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Actually, let me check something. I think I might have that delivery. I sure do, so I don't want to have to cut this out of editing, so I'm just going to stop recording. And I'll pick up again in a minute.